of muscle contraction. When a motor nerve conducts nerve impulses to skeletal muscle fibers, the fibers are stimulated to contract via motor unit. So what is a motor unit? A motor unit consists of one motor nerve fiber and all the muscle fibers with which it communicates. For example, here you see that this is the motor neuron in the yellow color, and this is the motor neuron, and notice that these are the muscle fibers, and each muscle fiber is made up of myofibril. So a motor unit actually it consists of one motor nerve fiber and all the muscle fibers with which it communicates. Here you see that this is the motor neuron and these are the branches of a motor neuron, and here this motor neuron it is communicating with all these muscle fibers. So it forms a motor unit. So a motor unit consists of one motor nerve fiber and all the muscle fibers with which it communicates. What is the motor end plate? The motor end plate is the specialized portion of the sarcolemma of a muscle fiber surrounding the terminal end of the nerve. Here you see that this is the motor neuron, and these are the axonal ends of the motor neuron, and here you see that this is the sarcolemma of a muscle fiber. So motor end plate, what is the motor end plate? Motor end plate is the specialized portion of sarcolemma of a muscle fiber surrounding the terminal end of the nerve fiber. Here this is the terminal end of the nerve fiber, and you see this is the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. So this sarcolemma of the muscle fiber, it is surrounding the terminal end of the motor neuron. So this is named as the motor end plate. A space separates the specialized end of the motor and motor nerve fiber from the membrane of the muscle fiber. This arrangement of structure is called neuromuscular junction or cleft. Here you see in this diagram, here in this grey color, this is the space which is present between this nerve fiber and the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. This arrangement of the structure, it is actually named as the neuromuscular junction or the cleft. A neuromuscular junction is actually a chemical synapse between a motor neuron and a muscle fiber. As you know that synapse is or the cleft, this is the synaptic cleft. This is actually a gap which is present between this motor axonal end of this motor neuron and the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. When nerve impulse reaches the end of the nerve fiber branch, synaptic vesicles in the nerve ending releases a chemical called acetylcholine. For example, here notice that when this action potential it arrives at the neuromuscular junction. Here you see this is the neuromuscular junction. When action potential arrives at this neuromuscular junction, this is the these are the synaptic vesicles which contains acetylcholine. So when this action potential it reaches at this neuromuscular junction, these synaptic vesicles in the nerve ending, they release a chemical which is named as the acetylcholine. Acetylcholine diffuses across the neuromuscular cleft between the nerve ending and the muscle fiber sarcolemma and binds with acetylcholine receptors on the sarcolemma. For example, here you notice that this acetylcholine, it is released from this synaptic vesicle, and this acetylcholine now here you see that this acetylcholine is diffused across this neuromuscular cleft. The sarcolemma, and here notice that this actually this acetylcholine, it is attached here with the acetylcholine receptors which are present on the sarcolemma of this muscle fiber. The sarcolemma is normally polarized. The outside is positive and the inside is negative. For example, here notice that when this sarcolemma is polarized, the outside is positive and inside is negative. When acetylcholine binds to the receptor, ions are redistributed on both sides of the membrane and polarity is altered. So actually here you notice that when this acetylcholine it binds with acetylcholine receptors, started to change the polarity of this sarcolemma. So, we say that this sarcolemma is now depolarized, and notice that now the outside is more negative as compared to the inside, and inside is more positive as compared to the outside. And here you notice that this is the direction of the action potential. This altered polarity allows flows in a wave like progression into the muscle fiber by conducting paths called transverse tubules. Here you notice that this is the action potential, and this action potential, it travels along the T tubule or the transverse tubules. The altered polarity of transverse tubule causes the sarcoplasmic reticulum to release calcium, which diffuses into the cytoplasm. The calcium then binds with a regulatory protein called troponin. Here this is the troponin, and this is the actually in this light blue or the gray color, this is the actin filament, and on this is the troponin. So, here these are the calcium ions. The calcium binds with the regulatory protein troponin, that is on another protein called tropomyosin. This is the tropomyosin on which the troponin is present. This binding exposes the myosin binding sites on the actin molecule that tropomyosin had blocked. This is the tropomyosin, and it actually blocked the myosin binding sites on the actin molecule. When this calcium, it binds with the troponin, it exposes the myosin binding sites on the actin molecule. Once the binding sites are open, the myosin filaments can form cross bridges with actin, and power strokes of cross bridges results in filament sliding and muscular contraction. Here you see that this is the actually the model of a calcium induced changes in troponin that allow cross bridges to form between actin and myosin. This is the myosin and it is the actin filament. So, the attachment of calcium, here you notice that this is the calcium, attachment of calcium to troponin moves the troponin tropomyosin complex, which exposes the binding site on actin. The myosin, here this is the binding site, and the attachment of calcium to the troponin actually moves the troponin and tropomyosin complex, which exposes the binding site on the actin. The myosin cross bridges can then attach to the actin and undergoes the power stroke. Relaxation follows contraction. During relaxation, an active transport system pumps calcium back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum for storage. For example, here you see that the acetylcholine, here as you know that acetylcholine is released or it is diffused in the synaptic cleft when the nerve impulse had reached this neuronal end or this neuromuscular junction. But now during relaxation, the acetylcholine esterases, here this acetylcholine esterase removes acetylcholine from the synaptic cleft. Calcium is transported back into the sarcoplasmic, here you see that this calcium, it is transported back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and tropomyosin binds active site on the actin, causing the cross bridges to detach. By controlling the nerve impulse that reach the sarcoplasmic reticulum, the nervous system controls calcium levels in skeletal muscle tissue, thereby exerting control over contraction. Summary of today's lecture. This lecture was on the topic control of muscle contraction, and here in this lecture you have studied the control of muscle contraction. Now focus on this diagram in this in the summary, that in this number 1 position, here you see that here the acetylcholine is released from the axonal terminal and it binds to the receptor on the sarcolemma. And in this number 2 position, in this point number 2, here you see an action potential is generated and travels down the T tubule. And then calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum in response to the change in voltage. Then the calcium binds troponin and cross bridges form between actin and myosin. So, in this all these 4 points they actually indicates the contraction of the muscle fiber. And here during relaxation, the acetylcholine esterase removes acetylcholine from synaptic cleft, and then calcium is transported back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and then tropomyosin binds active sites on actin, causing the cross bridges to detach. So, this was all about control of muscle contraction. I hope you well understood this topic.